There is something I need to clarify because I realized recently that even something I say can be misunderstood in a way that creates pressure instead of clarity. I say, take 100% responsibility for your life. And I stand by that. But what I see now is that without structure, that sentence can turn into self-abandonment. Because most people don't hear, take responsibility for your life. They hear, I have to fix everything. I have to choose perfectly. If something goes wrong, it's on me. And your nervous system does exactly what it should. It goes into pressure, into vigilance, into trying to control outcomes that were never fully yours to control. And that's where burnout begins. Notice the urge to carry everything so nothing falls apart. That's the old contract. If I don't handle it, it will. Because this is where I had to learn, not conceptually, but through my own life. There was a moment for me in Utah. For a long time, I carried the entire situation as if it was mine, all of it. The outcome, the dynamics, what happened, what didn't happen. I held it like if I had done something differently, if I had seen it sooner, if I had responded better. And that's what over-responsibility does. It collapses reality into it's all me. But that wasn't true. What life revealed to me when I was finally able to see it clearly was that the situation was co-created. 7 people, 7 perspectives, 7 nervous systems, 7 levels of awareness, 7 sets of choices. And in that moment, something very precise happened. I could finally separate what was mine from what was never mine to carry. And that's when responsibility became clean, because I stopped carrying 6 other people's choices. And I came back to my participation, not the entire system, not the outcome, not who they were or weren't, just how I showed up, what I chose, what I ignored, what I knew, what I didn't act on. That's responsibility, not control. And that is where Jung actually becomes very relevant, because Jung spoke about projection, about how we take what is not conscious in us and place it onto the external world. But there is another side to that. We don't just project outwards. Sometimes we over-own inwards. We take what belongs to the collective, to the system, to other people, and we collapse it into it's me. That's not individuation. That's fusion. Individuation, real psychological maturity, requires differentiation. The ability to say, this is mine, this is not mine, without collapsing into blame and without inflating into control. That's where 100% responsibility actually lives. Not in carrying everything, but in fully owning what is yours and releasing what is not. And that is a completely different nervous system experience. Because when you're trying to carry everything, you will live in pressure. But when you return to your participation, something changes. You don't disappear, you don't avoid, you don't detach, you engage. You engage cleanly. You are not responsible for controlling life. You're responsible for how you meet it. And that's the shift I needed. Because I was never afraid of responsibility. I was over-identified with it. I was using responsibility as a way to try to stay safe. If I carry everything, nothing will blindside me. That's not safety. That's exhaustion. And when I shifted into, I take responsibility for my participation, life didn't become perfect, but it became real. I could respond. I could choose. I could move without carrying what was never mine alone. And this is important. Taking responsibility with acceptance does not mean you dismiss the pain. It does not mean things could not have been different. It means you are not helpless and life is not punishing. It means you stay in relationship with reality without collapsing into self-blame or inflating into control. And from there, something else becomes available. Energy, clarity, movement. Because you are no longer stuck managing everything. You are actually living. So if I say take 100% responsibility for your life, this is what I mean. Take full responsibility for how you show up, what you choose, what you participate in, what you ignore, what you allow. But do not take responsibility for controlling outcomes, managing other people, holding entire systems together. That's not yours. And carrying it will cost you. So the question shifts. Not what do I need to fix, but how do I want to meet this? That's responsibility. Not pressure, not perfection. Participation. And when you land there, you don't lose power. You actually reclaim it. You don't have to earn love to be safe. If this is landing, stay with me.